I'm dragging today, dragging big time. Which is funny because for the first time in a very long time, I'm podcasting on a super sunny day, which is why the lighting's bad too, I think. Because for some reason, I guess having an overcast, cloudy day makes for better lighting. It is what it is, sorry. But anyway, hi, welcome back. This is the Apple Crafts Podcast, and my name is Alicia. So, today's episode, it's probably going to be a little bit lengthy. Don't know yet, but it's going to be up there. Because we're going to have some works that I'm working on, a couple of finishes. I'm looking at my table. I took a trip to Atlanta last week or just over a week ago, and I went to 3 different yarn shops, so I'm going to talk about that. We have giveaway winners at the end. We have shop news. Yeah, so let's get started. So my first finish, which is okay, this is the Streamline tank that I'm pretty sure I talked about last time. So it's a little bit short. I gotta work on this table, I think, because you can't really see everything. I need a stool or something. So I made this with loops and threads will like in purple, and I think this color is lavender. And I worked it in the round because the pattern it's a free pattern if you go to the website. If you want to get it without going to the website, then it's paid for, and I don't know how much it is. I think it's like $5 or something. Anyway, so it's pieced together here on the side. So I just modified it to make it in the round, and I'm going to adjust the camera just a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Maybe. So I did a high-low hem right here, and then after I got to where I wanted the high-low hem to be, you know, with the inches, I joined it together and around, which is really easy to do. It's kind of like doing color work, really, the way you join the yarns together. So if you've ever done that. And then I just worked in the round, and then I didn't have enough of this dark purple to do the whole thing, so I started marling here, which is about where I wanted it to marl, maybe a little bit more down here, but it's good enough. And then started fading it into the lavender. Now, I should have realized this is why we have to read the patterns before we work on the patterns, because I'm reading through after I finish, you know, the shaping for the front part, and I'm like, okay, so what do I do for the back, right? I mean, I've knit enough that I can kind of figure it out, but I didn't see any directions. So I'm like, oh, they're identical panels. So the back is supposed to look exactly like the front. You see with these, this kind of ribbing here. This is purl one, knit one, but it's through the back loop, so you kind of see what's going on here. What?
I'm gonna go get my meds. They just
Okay.
said it ready.
I can edit. It's fine. So it's purl one, knit one through the back loop, so you kind of pushes that knit stitch forward. And yeah, I was supposed to do that in the back, which I didn't do because I knit all the way until it's time to split the arms and then through shaping in the back. So I kind of modified it and fudged it, whatever. So I did a little bit of the stitching here in the back. If you can see back here, just a little bit of it to give it the shape that will mirror the front. And then this is just, I think the strap was purl one, knit one through the back loop. So I did 6 stitches for the straps just to give it a little bit of heft and so I can wear it with a thinner bra strap. But yeah, so that's my major finish. And I'm going to adjust the camera again so I'm not looking down. So hold on. If you don't have a beverage, go get one. I'll wait. It's all right. Or pause, whatever. Okay. And I've got 2 more finishes, which we all know what this is at this point. They're squares, because what else is it going to be? It takes me 2 days to do a square, so it's the easiest thing for me to finish right now. So here's another block from Norah Gaughn's, I think, was it Norah's Afghan or something like that. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. And so this one, I have to keep adjusting the yarn or the stitch counts depending on what type of yarn I'm using, because this one is a little bit thicker than the alpaca because this is merino. So I decided to show it because I messed up on it, and we have to show our good or with our bad. And so the pattern went all the way to the edge here, and then because actually it goes out a little bit further, I had to like kind of adjust it a little bit. So I just kind of brought that, kept continuing the cable on the side until it was time to bring it back in. So I mean, it doesn't look that bad, but it doesn't look good either. But you know, I think it's getting pieced into a blanket, and at the end of the day, when everything is all seamed together, I don't think it's really gonna be noticeable, nor is anyone really gonna care. So I have to always keep that in mind. So this yarn is, like I said, it's merino from Susie the Shepherdess, and she has a farm in Indiana, and she raises her sheep with practices from the early 1800s, because she's a reenactor. So she does a lot of, I don't know what time period she actually reenacts, but I'm going to assume that if she's raising her sheep with early 1800 practices, then that's probably a time period she's reenacting as well. So anyway, so there's that one. And I could put that away with my pile of squares. And then here's another one that I just finished the other day. Same thing, it's that merino. And actually, because I'm learning from following different farmers that you can have the same sheep, but every year their wool gets a little lighter, gets a little darker, depending on the type of sheep or whatever. So that's actually really good representation, because this is the same color of yarn, like the same sheep of yarn, but like, I don't know if this is a younger shearing or if this is a younger shearing. Either way, because she doesn't dye the yarn, it's all natural. So that's just gives you a representation of how the wool changes from year to year. So here's this one, and I don't know if you can see, but this is not ribbing in here. This is like a little, it's a cable, but every other row is knit 2 together, but don't take it off the needle, and then you go back and knit the first stitch and then take them off, and that's how you get this in here. It's super easy to do. It's really cool. So there's that one, and I'm knitting these on a US 7, and I was going to start talking about the millimeters, so I'll put down the millimeters here, because I want to say a US 7 is a 4.5 millimeter. I'm pretty sure, because a US 8 I think is a 5 millimeter, so 4.5 millimeter. And these are worsted weight. There you go. And there's that. And I think that's it for finishes. So what's next? WIPs. I don't really have a whole lot. I finished a pair of socks, but I almost never show the socks because we'd be looking at the same pair of socks for like months, because I literally only work on socks whenever I'm at the vet or something else where, like, you know, I have time to kill. So I finished that, but there's no point in showing that. I have Slip Stitch Party from Isabelle Kraemer over there. I'll talk about that after I talk about this one, because this is here. So this one, if you saw my video where I was redoing this here, and I found some yarn for another shawl. I decided to cast on Lilli Pilli from Ambah O'Brien, and I've had that pattern for quite a while now, 3 years or something like that. So I finally had the yarn combinations that I wanted to work with. So let me dig this out of my bag. I should probably show the project bag, right? If you saw my project bag video, you know I don't have typical project bags. So this one's my alien bag. And this side has spaceships. And it's just a tote. There's no pockets in it or anything. So, okay, so this yarn, one of the yarns I'm using, oh my gosh, it's a tangled mess. What's going on here? Oh my gosh. Okay, this yarn I've had in my stash for quite a while. She used to be a local to me dyer, and then she stopped dyeing yarn 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Redhead Fibers. I don't know if I have the tag. Doesn't matter because she doesn't dye yarn anymore. Anyway, this color is called Mushroom, and that's a pretty good representation. Think a little bit more purple, but it's speckly and splotchy with purple and actually it's light purple, dark purple, and then cream. So there's that, and I'm alternating rows with Knit Picks, Stroll, and Eggplant. Oh, this is, I think it's 80-10-10 merino cashmere nylon. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. This one, Stroll Fingering, is 75% merino, 25% nylon. I love that's coming through. All right. And this is the color Eggplant. So I have to do 50 rows of this, or 50 stripes. So I'm counting by a light stripe so I know how many I've done. So this marker is telling me that's 10. So actually I've done 20 rows, or 20 stripes. So I have to do 30 more stripes of this before I get to the lace part, which is this color. And this is just undyed merino, nylon, and stellina. So it's got silver stellina in it, so you can kind of see the sparkle in there a little bit. That's going to be my lace. So those are my colors. Here we go. Those are my colors. So this is going to be a slog, but that's okay because you know what? It's literally garter stitch, and for those days where I just don't want to focus on anything, it's the perfect thing to knit on. So I'm not complaining. So I'll put that over there. And now I'm going to go get slip stitch party so we can talk about that. If you saw my last full podcast, nothing's really changed. It's the same thing. So this is a pattern by Isabelle Kraemer, slip stitch party. I mean, I've got way more rows now, so, and it's curling in on itself. But that's the front. This is the back, which actually looks really cool on camera. And I have 40 more rows to do on this one. So this marker here is telling me where 100 stitches are on here because I've got to do this for 176 stitches before I move to the next part. So this is just helping me know how far I've gone, and then when I hit 150 I'm going to move this again, and then that way it's easier for me to keep track of how many stitches I have, because otherwise I don't want to keep counting. Like, that's a lot of stitches to count, you know what I'm saying? So this is being knit on, you know, I do actually have a thing that measures needle gauge, and I should probably start bringing it over here because my eyes, y'all. This is a US 4, 3.5 millimeter. And I think this is a, yeah, it's 40-inch needle, Chiagu. Yep. Because I suspect that by the time I get to the rest of it, I'm going to be using up most of this needle. So I just put it on there. But I started out with a 16-inch and then went to a 24. And now I'm on a 40. So I'll be on the 40 until I'm done. And these colors are left over from the What Tomorrow Brings shawl that I talked about a couple episodes ago. This is Wales Road from Malabrigo. This is either heather or lavender. It's a merino bamboo mix. This is 75-25, this Malabrigo sock. And this is, it's merino bamboo, but I don't remember which is which. If I had to guess, it's probably like something around 70-30 or 75-25, because that would make sense to me. Doesn't mean it's right, but yeah. And then the next colors that are going into this shawl, depending on, I'm trying to use up these colors, so I may not use all of these colors, but these are the colors that I'm thinking about putting into that shawl. And that would be charcoal, which is the merino bamboo. And then this is Sabaduria from Malabrigo, which is really showing up pink on screen. It is not this pink, it's more purple. And this is my black yarn with a lilac overdye on Polworth. This is lavender or heather. I'm gonna guess this is lavender and this is heather. I think I say this every single time. Either way, you'll be done hearing me say this after I'm done with this shawl, hopefully. Anyway, so this is going in there, and pink tourmaline is going in there. This is really blowing out on screen too. It's a little bit more darker than that. And this is on Polworth. So, oh, and I might be using Anniversario too. So these are all colors that may go into that shawl, but it just depends on if I run, how much it's going to take before it runs out. Because if it doesn't, it'll just go back on the shelf. Wait for another project. It's okay. I think that's all I have for WIPs. Let me check my podcast basket here. Oh, I found another finish. Look at that. This is my podcast basket, by the way. I just keep it right here. Whenever I'm done with stuff, I just shuck it right in. Another square. I'm glad I saw that because I missed that entirely. So yeah, this is the merino yarn from Susie the Shepherdess. So if you wanted to make this blanket for yourself, there's quite a few projects on there. I was particularly looking for the one, I saved it actually, where like the way she did her photographs of each square, she wrote down which one it was so that you could see what it looked like knit up, which I thought was really helpful. So I did the same thing. So if you go to my Ravelry page, which is linked down in my link tree, you will see where I have a little number in the corner with the photo so that you know this is not the same, but as an example, so you know what the square looks like on the chart. Because like, even if you've done a lot of cable knitting, you can kind of get an idea when you're looking at the pattern, but it's kind of nice to see, you know, a full representation. So there's that. So yeah, I can put this away too. And I'm officially over halfway on the 20 squares that I need for that blanket. I may end up doing more than 20 because I want to see, because the yarn weights are kind of different, I'm wondering how that's going to work, seaming up a heavier square with a lighter square. And I know I can redistribute the weight in a way where one's not pulling on the other too much, but I don't know if I want to go through that. And if that's the case, what I might do is just make like 30 squares or 40 squares, which means I'll be doing this blanket forever. And then put that together, and then whatever's left over, kind of like what I did with those crochet squares, make something else with it. I don't think I'll make a wrap with it. Maybe make a baby blanket with it, or like a little lap blanket or something like that. So we'll see. Okay, so I guess I'll start talking about my Atlanta trip. Yeah. because I don't have anything else. Okay. So, over a week ago, I took a weekend trip to Atlanta, and I visited 3 different yarn shops. One of them was on the way to Atlanta. It was Chattanooga Yarn Co. And I'm going to try to explain my trip and do a video overlay at the same time. So I'm going to start that now. So I went to Chattanooga Yarn Company. They're fairly new. I think they opened up within the last fiscal year. I don't remember exactly when they opened, but I don't even think it's been a year yet. And they are located inside of a mall. So when you walk in, you'll see a sign that says Chatty Yarn Co. or Chattanooga Yarn Company, something like that. And it's a small store, but it's cute. So they have a lot of variety in there, a lot of hand dye. There's some linen, samples, yarn bowls, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I've noticed when I go to a yarn shop that I am very much like a kid in the candy store, where I just grab anything and everything and no rhyme or reason and no thought to it whatsoever, which is bad and good, right? Because it's like we want to support the yarn companies or the local yarn shops, but if you don't really have a reason for what you're buying, it's, now you have to wait until you have something else to use with that. But anyway, I still had fun. I chatted with the owner, and yeah, so the person that you just saw in the video, that is my bestie, and he got me these things that I will show you right now. Knit blockers. So you know how like in some of my videos I am pinning out or blocking my stuff with a bunch of individual pins? Let me show you. This is what I've been blocking all my stuff with. So I can save myself some time now and use these. So these are Knitter's Pride Mindful Collection knit blockers. So they are, I haven't even taken this out of the package yet. So let's look at it together. Ooh. Okay, so this is what it looks like right out of the package. Ooh. So these are the small ones. I like the little design on there. It's like a little mandala. And that is pretty sharp. Okay, so be careful if you get these. Oh, there's like a little sponge. Okay, so that's cool. There's like a little spongy thing in there for you to stick your things in, but I'm gonna try to be careful. Oh, this is hard. I may have to do some editing here. Okay, so there's another size. So I would assume this is like, shirts, garments, whatever. And ooh, are they all like that? Yeah, okay, so all the wide ones are like that. They're just in different colors. I wasn't sure if the different colors meant something else, but no, it's just decorative. Okay. Oh, wait. Maybe not. No, it's just decorative. Okay. Okay, so they come in 2 different sizes. And a bunch of different colors. I have a feeling I'm going to wear out that sponge pretty quickly. I'll have to figure out storage solutions for that. Anyway, so there's that. And then I got, or picked out, I should say, more Malabrigo sock. Because I totally understand the hype now, because Malabrigo is beautiful. This is, oh my goodness. Oh, it's 100% merino wool. That's weird, because the other ones that I have are not 100% merino wool, and they're sock. Oh, because it's ultimate sock. So ultimate sock is merino and nylon, And the sock is just merino. I did not know that. I'm not going to make it for socks anyway, and I've made socks with all different types of wool, so it don't matter to me. But that's the label, and the color is Ocean, I guess. So it's showing up a little bit lighter, but the colors are true. They're just darker, so it's kind of like we showing a light on it. So it's browns, blues, greens, olive, purple, some orange, and red. This is really pretty. I may save this for color work. I don't know yet. Because sooner or later I will actually be knitting some more sweaters or garments or whatever. I'm just trying to get through a lot of this to make for shawls just so I can clean it up. This is Malabrigo Rios. And this is also 100% merino wool, worsted weight. And this is showing up pretty bright. It's definitely a darker red. Like I said, the lighting is bad. Apparently the lighting's better when it's overcast outside. So there's that. And then I picked out this gorgeous, ooh, it is not that blue. It's like a ultraviolet purple. And it is from Earth Yarns. I've never heard of this company before, but I fell in love with this color. And it's 100% ultra fine merino, 50 gram fingering. So I'm definitely going to be saving this one for color work because it's just bam in your face. It's beautiful. Love it. So that was my purchases at Chattanooga Yarn Company. I think I broke a nail. No. Okay, so the next place that I went to visit was to Craftivist, and they are inside Atlanta, or maybe on the outskirts of Atlanta. It was definitely in the Atlanta area. And funny story, so apparently they had a trunk show or meet the maker or something, and I didn't know anything about that. I'm just like, hey, let me find a yarn shop and go support them, right? So walk in and I ask if I can take video, and so they let me take video, and I'm taking pictures and stuff. And I asked if there's anything local, because I always like to see if there's anything local first before I buy anything else, because, you know, I think that, one, that's cool because it's more of a souvenir yarn that way, and then two, I think it kind of helps a little bit more. But anyway, so I go in there, and the maker is still there for Ryan Yarns, and that's the first part of this video that you'll see when I zoom in to some of those yarns. And so I'm chatting with him and talking about the yarn and the colors and all that, and like apparently everything was done and like they were all on their way out. So it was kind of cool that I got to meet the maker of that yarn, who's apparently a popular person. But I will tell you that I don't pay that much attention to what's going on out there because I'm kind of in my own little world. So I didn't realize that I was talking to somebody that was kind of popular, but hey, cool. So yes, they had a lot of hand dye. They had some self striping. What else? I'm trying to think. You know, all the usual suspects. So this is what I got from that trip. So I found Blue Sky Fibers, full stock worsted. What colorway is this? Deep velvet. That's the tag. And that's the label. And this is, what, 50 grams? I think. Yeah, 50 grams. And so I got something to match it. I don't, now that I'm thinking about it, I thought I was going to make a hat with this, but I think it's not going to be enough to make a hat. So I may have to find, I do have some worsted over here, so I might find a third color that will go with this. Yeah, everything's just showing up a little bit brighter today. But this is like a deep, moody burgundy Merlot. If you drink wine or know anything about wine colors, this is definitely a Merlot type of color. And then same company, Blue Sky Fibers. This is quartz crystal. So yeah, I got those to go together to make something. And then I picked up that beautiful purple that I zoomed in on. That was Ryan yarn. That's the label. And this is an 80/20 merino nylon, 400 yards. It's a high twist. So that's the name of the color. Roses are red, violets are lesbians. And this is just gorgeous. It's showing up a little bit more blue on the screen, but there's definitely some blues in here, but it's definitely more, yeah, like there's a little bit of, like, I'm going to guess that there's some purple that broke into a blue in these darker spots, which is why it's showing blue on here. But it's got like a mix of like dark purples and a little bit of fuchsias going on and all that. It's beautiful. And I can't wait to use it. I'm not sure what I will do with this yet. I don't have a lot of high twist, so we'll see. But I know it'll be fabulous, whatever it is. And then I asked if they had any self-striping yarn, and they did. They showed me the section. This is Earth Yarns. And it's 100% ultra-fine merino, 435 yards. Second, there. Oh. Almost had it. There we go. Ah, lost it. And that's how much I paid for it. I believe in full transparency, y'all. We need to talk about how much we're paying for yarn. Anyway, so that's what this is. It's a little bit bright and screen, like I said, for everything else. But it's got like this lime green with a little bit of scummy green and blue and fuchsia and bright pink and orange. What else is in here? All kinds of stuff. Aqua. Yeah. So this is actually going to be my next set of socks. So since I showed this on the podcast, I'm going to try to make an effort to let you see what it looks like knit up. So there's that. Okay, and then I'll be right back because my broken nail's getting on my nerves. Okay, so the third place that we went to was the last day there. Yes, it's the last day there, leaving Atlanta. Fiber Parts. At this point, I was just tired, and so I wasn't thinking about filming on the inside and all that. So that didn't happen. I did get a picture of the outside, so I'll put that in here. And so this shop was a little bit different because they had a lot of emphasis on rustic yarn. I don't even think I saw anything hand-dyed. No, it's hand-dyed, but like not like hand-dyed like this. It's more like rustic wool that was hand-dyed. Sewing notions. I don't remember if there was fabric in there. But sewing stuff, embroidery, lots of embroidery stuff. And then yarn. Lots of notions. So, yeah, there's a lot of rustic stuff. So, what I got from there, I'm pretty sure... Actually, I think all of these might be local. Not sure about the one skein, but this one's called... Okay, I think the company is Germantown, and the color is Persian red. So it's North American wool, 100-yard mini skein. And the red is a little bit more muted, but actually this is pretty close to what's on screen. So there's this. And Spirit Fiber Works, 75% llama, 25% wool. And I think this is just a natural color, so it's like a a dark brown chocolate color with a little bit of heathering on it. Woo! It's a little bit itchy. I'm trying to figure out, I know I'm allergic to alpaca, which is why I'm trying to use it up. You would think that you wouldn't want to use it if you're allergic to it, right? I believe in using up stuff if I can. So, and then this one, Akara. It's the label. And this is Dorset Sport Weight, 100% Dorset wool. It's a single ply, 420 yards, and the colorway is called Decay. Come on. Why are you not? There we go. And this has it definitely has a rustic feel to it. But it's lovely. So I think I'm definitely going to use this for some color work. It's not going in a shawl. This is definitely gloves or a hat or color work for a garment. Either way. But it has dark blues and lilac and rust, brown, olive, gray. I thought that was really pretty. And that's it for all the wool that I got. So, what else is there to talk about? We have giveaway winners, which I know you're chomping at the bits about, and shop news. So let's do the shop news first. Okay, so for shop news, it is a new month, so we have the June colorway Alexandrite up for sale, marked down, I should say. I believe it starts at $20, $22. It's not going to be any more than $22 to start. And then, of course, you get your choice of a Progress Keeper to go with that for an additional $5. They're hand-carved little ones I've shown before. So what is the zodiac for June? It is Gemini and Cancer. So, right? I believe so. You'd think I would notice. Y'all, for real, I've been studying this stuff for like since I was a teenager, so you'd think it'd be off the top of my head, right? I have too much going on up here. Way too much. So that's marked down for the month. And then because June is also Pride Month, I've got my Pride colors marked down again this year. So I brought some of those to... Actually, I should probably bring the Alexandrite too. Let me do that first before I get into the Pride colors. Okay, so I'll put a picture up here so you can see the birthstone. And then this is the yarn. So it's a very soft purple lilac kind of color with, let me open it up. There's like a blip of blue. I want to show you so that you know, with a blip of blue in there. And yeah, so that's Alexandrite. And now I can go into the Pride colors. So on my 75, 20, and 5, so it's 75% merino, 20% nylon, 5% Lurex. Lurex is a lot like Stellina, in case you're curious, but it's like more in your face. So actually, here's a really good example. So if you can kind of see the sparkle on here, and then this is Stellina, and the Stellina is more gentle on the sparkle, whereas Lurex is more bold. So I have two different types of standard rainbow Pride yarn. One's speckled and one is abstract. And this is the speckles. So basically it's the whole rainbow with a background of white, and so every color is kind of speckled through when you knit it. You see that? That's the green, that's the blue, it's purple, going back into green. So that's Pride and Speckles, and this is on, the, like I said, that merino nylon Lurex base. And then I think this is Abstract. See, sometimes the way I dye it up is kind of hard. I have to really look at it to see if they're Abstract or Speckles. I think this is the Abstract because, as you can see, it's not so speckled. It's more splotchy, which is what I was going for. So, yeah, you see how I have like splotches of orange going on in here, and then like a splotch of red going in there, splotches of blue and green. So that's that on Abstract, on a cream base. And then this is merino nylon. This is Speckle. So you see how it's speckled in here. So that's how that looks, and I have a couple different bases. I still had some left over from last year. I'm trying not to do any dyeing right now because I'm trying to go through my inventory. This one turned into a splotch. But for the most part, you know, they're speckled through. Yeah, like this red, you can kind of see where it's speckled through. So they're on a few different bases. I know I have 8515. I've got the merino nylon Lurex. I have superwash merino. $85.15 merino nylon. Okay, and then the other one that I have, if you don't want a rainbow yarn, is Bisexual Pride. I was going to, last year or the year before, go through all the colors, and then I ran out of yarn, so it just didn't happen. So I got as far as Bisexual Pride, and these are on 85.15. So you got the blue and the pink, and it's got the purple mixed in there. So it's kind of, it's like a mix of splotchy with speckles. So you're kind of getting the best of both worlds there as far as color on a cream base. So there's that. And I only have a couple of these. I did actually order yarn, but I haven't opened up the packages yet because, like I said, I'm trying to go through my inventory. So if there's a demand, I will open it up and dye more yarn. But if not, then I'm just going to go through what I have. So that's it for stuff that's marked down for this month. And that's going to go all the way till June 30th. And what else? Oh, giveaway winners. So, giveaway winners. So, if you're paying attention to the comments at all, I didn't even have to do a name picker because there were only 2 people who entered into the giveaway. But we made it to 114 subscribers. How freaking awesome is that? It's like I hit a new algorithm or something. As soon as I hit like 90 subscribers or something, they just kept coming. I was so excited. Y'all, I was doing a happy dance. It was ridiculous. You should have seen me. I was like, yeah. So, yeah. So I've got, take your pick. Do you want DK or do you want fingering weight? So my winners are Amy Stepp and Anvita Sina. I hope I'm saying your name right. So, Amy, I know you know how to reach me, so just let me know where you want me to send your yarn. And Anvita, I really hope I'm saying your name right. I'm going to put my email address right here. So just email me, put the word winner in the title so I know who you are, and just let me know where to send you your yarn, and if you want the DK weight sampler pack or if you want the fingering weight sampler pack. And also, I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure that you're not in the US, so just remember that you have to take care of your own duty fees, VAT, whatever that stands for, and any of that other stuff. I just sent you the yarn. And then we can just kind of, when you email me, I'll get that. I'll give you information and all that stuff. So, anyway, so just get in touch with me, and congratulations to both of you. And I'm excited. Yeah, so I hit that threshold. That's awesome. Is there anything else? I don't think so. Oh, wait. I wanted to go over some numbers, and I had a podcast shout out that I wanted to do because a couple episodes ago I wanted to start doing that, and then I kind of stopped doing it, and I want to get back into highlighting podcasts that have very few followers. So first, my pattern stash down. So at the beginning of the year, I decided that I had way too many paid for patterns, and I need to go through them and put myself on a pattern buying ban because I was getting overwhelmed. Now, it might be a different number for you, but for me, 44 paid for patterns is a lot. And so I'm like, okay, I need to get this number down. So it hasn't been my primary focus throughout the year, but if there's anything I want to knit, I'm going through that list first. So with that, I have 34 patterns left. And then I also have a list of things that I want to make for the year. And not everything that's on that list are all paid for patterns that I have that I need to get rid of, because that's just how I roll. So for the things that I want to make for this year, I started off around the same amount, like 40 something, and now I've got 37 patterns left that I need to do for that list. So that means I've made 7 patterns off of my make for 2023 list. So yeah, progress either way. Even if I don't go through the whole thing, I'm definitely putting a dent in it, which makes me happy. So I'm looking at my notes. Podcast shout out. I just discovered this podcast 3 days ago, maybe. I'm number 41. So she had 40 subscribers, and she started 2 years ago, and from what I understand, she took a break or something like that. Because usually when I find a podcast, I'll start all the way at the beginning and just binge watch. So I'm in the middle of binge watching right now. I'm not all caught up. So from what I understand, she took a little bit of a break, but she does, she's a knitwear designer. I think she crochets patterns too. She's got an Etsy shop, and I'll put her YouTube thing up here. Cute patterns, like really cute. Go check her out. I think that's it for today. Hopefully I'll see you in 2 weeks. It's been a long month, and I knew it would be. Hopefully June is not that bad, because May was trying there for a little while. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into it, but it was, yeah, let's just hope that June is better. All right, so I will see you in a couple weeks with my mid-June stuff. Hopefully, my slip stitch party will be in a new section, so we're not looking at the same thing all the time. And that's it. So thank you again for all the new subscribers. Maybe I'll do an introduction next time too for all the new people, so that you kind of know where I am, who I am, what I'm about, all that stuff. Yeah, so okay, I'm gonna go now. I'll see you guys later. Bye.